Hey everyone, this is Dale and this is Mel, and we're doing another one of our Healthy Body, Healthy Minds. And this week is all about the art of pause. And I always laugh when I say pause because I've just got this picture of all my dog paws. And you know, when you look at dogs, they pause so easily. I mean, I've got one dog out there who's lying on his back with his legs out like that. I got two lying over there, one of them snoring, and their little paws are just going. But they do it so naturally and so easily. You know, we poor little humans, you know, we could wake up in the middle of the night and our minds are going like this, and the blinking dog just goes, and you think, how did you do that? How do they run around like a mad thing and then just sleep?
We need to be more dog.
We do need to be more dog. We do.
They have this amazing ability to just to know what's important and to sort of just focus on the now.
Yeah.
And there's many a times where I just think, I wish I was Joey, because all Joey has to think about is, hey, let's have some food. Should we go and play? Sleep. 3 seconds.
I know.
Done.
My mum says to me that when she comes back, she's coming back as one of my dogs. And I said, the trouble is, Mum, I said, I'm not going to be here, so you're a bit late. And she said, well, I'll have to come back as an old dog. I thought, oh, bless her. Old dog, like, poor thing. So she just, you know, because when I talk to her about my dogs, it's literally, I wake up in the morning and I'm sorry, viewers, but my dogs sleep all over my sofas and all over my bed, and I absolutely love it. I live on my own. I don't know how someone else is going to slip in when they slip into my life, but they just have to find a space. Perhaps the humans will sleep in the middle and the dogs will or just have to get a bigger bed.
Bigger bed, or humans sleep on the floor.
Do you know, it doesn't matter how big the bed is. They still steal all. I've got a king size bed and there's only me, and it's like they steal the bed the whole time. But you know, but it's true what you say. It's like I wake up and they go, "Oh, Mum, you've just surfaced. Is it time to play?" And you think, "Do you know what? I need a cup of tea, a glass of water and a cup of tea." And then it's like they're out that door. They're in the Rambler. They're running up and down, doing whatever dogs do. They come back. They eat their food. They have a bloody fart, and then lie down. And it's just, what a life. And my mum wants to come back because she knows that, you know, I absolutely adore my dogs, and it's like I do everything. You know, they have their treats and they look at me with those big eyes, and it's like, Mummy, can we eat your yogurt? And she always laughs at me. She says, I mean, you know, you as a nutritionist will probably, I know you're going to tell me off, because I make food and they end up eating most of my food. Because it's like, well, I've got to divide up whatever's, you know, so I make a big pile of whatever's. And then I think, right, well, I've got to divide that up so they can all have a little, you know, so they can have a bit of carrot and a bit of meat and a bit of this and, you know, whatever. Completely bonkers. But they do, like you just said, they just live in the moment. There's no worrying.
The little doggy brains, they don't have things to worry about like we do. But I just think they're very intuitive creatures, aren't they? So, you know, in terms of, you know, if you're ever ill or you're tired, they know that, but they're very intuitive with themselves. And I think that's what we lack as human beings.
Well, do you know, it's really, really interesting. I took a picture of Marley this week. So what's currently happening with me is that I've just had another blood test, and I've got a couple of things going on. So my doctor's looking at my B12, looking at my folates and my ferritin and stuff around my osteoporosis. And I've been, you know, very, very tired. And then my hematologist is looking at the results for the MGUS. I mean, I happen to think that they're both connected. And because of what's going on in the world, getting to the doctor has been really difficult to get injections and stuff like that. So my energy completely and utterly crashed. My darling, darling little doggies, they'd be like, Mummy, you're not very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to lie so close to you and make sure you're right. And you're right. They just know that you're not feeling great. Like on Saturday, because in Spain, the people work late at night. I got my blood results at 9 o'clock at night. And when you first look at anything like that, your human brain goes, "Oh my God, everything's going to go wrong! And how, why is everything going that way?" And you just go into that like a bit of a panic. And I thought, well, okay, I've got an hour to panic, and then I can go to bed. But Saturday, I sobbed my heart out, and they did. They just knew that Mummy wasn't feeling great. So I had my feet licked and all kinds of, when I laid on the sofa, they like try to get inside your body to look after you. I mean, it's just so, so sweet. But as I'm looking at them, I'm thinking, I've got work to do, and I've got this to do, and I've got to go and buy food, and I've still got to take them for walks, and I have no energy. And all I kept hearing in my head was the words, the art of pause. And all I kept seeing was like their big paws. But it was like, I'm just being guided to just stop. Learn from those animals that beautiful art of, if you're not feeling great, to stop. Listen to your body. And then I know that's a real massive thing for you, is getting people to eat intuitively, listen to what their body's saying, take a note of their mood, all of those things. But like, how do you, I mean, obviously I've been doing it for a while, but how do you talk to your clients about, I'm going to keep going, the art of pause. What we should have brought some dog paws with us.
It's a really interesting one, because it sounds so simple, this idea of, well, yeah, you eat when you're hungry, you stop when you're full, you go out and do stuff when you've got energy, and then you stop when you don't, when you're feeling tired. We've just got so much into this habit of keeping going. We're kind of told that success comes from pushing on through, work harder, work longer hours, and I'll be honest, I tried it. It doesn't work. And I think that's where I started to go, oh, so I really do have to listen to my body. And not only do I have to listen to it, I have to do stuff about it, in terms of that moment when like you're really tired or you're feeling all that overwhelm. It's like, okay, well, the only way I'm going to make this go away is if I do something about this. And hey, let's just stop. And I think it begins for me with self-awareness. It's listening out, and I have many conversations with people. It's like, well, I don't know what to listen out for. I don't even know what to feel in my body. And I know we've talked a little bit about this before, Dale, in terms of disconnect. When we're leading very busy, kind of crazy lives at 100 miles an hour, we're always looking forward onto the next thing, or sometimes we're looking back in terms of, I want to be like that, and oh look, because I've done that before, I can do it again. We're not ever in that moment. We're not present. So for me, it begins with slowing down. It begins with that pause. But again, when you're sort of in the moment in life, in terms of you're stood in the kitchen, oh, there's a chocolate bar, before you know it, you've unwrapped it and it's in your face, and that's it, it's gone. Or it's like, I'll just have a cup of tea or coffee, and then I'll keep moving, and then I can keep on doing what I need to get done during my day. It's that considered pause. And literally we just have to stop. We have to allow ourselves, give ourselves permission to literally pause and sit down and contemplate things in the moment. And that's when, only until we get that quietness, a certain level, it may not even be peace, but to sit in the moment, only then will you be able to actually feel physical sensations in your body. Will you be able to hear thoughts without dismissing them and saying, I can't deal with that right now? And it can feel really uncomfortable. You get these feelings of guilt, but I should be doing this, I could be doing that. But it's not selfish, is it, to pause and to stop? It's something that we need.
I mean, I know I talked to you about my thing that I'm doing at the moment. So, I asked my doctor if I could self-inject, and he said yes. And so, I've made that choice to do that, because, like we were discussing earlier, my energy's not great, but it's almost like I wanted to talk to you about it so you would give me permission to pause. I have been pausing. I know that my energy is greatest in the morning, so I get up, I walk the dogs, eat my breakfast, I'll do some work, and then I'll walk them, and then I notice where I call it the crash, and I know that when the B12 has loaded, that'll all go away. And I sit on the sofa and just in complete and utter silence. They sit around me snoring, doing what doggies do. But it's almost like I wanted you to give me permission to do that. I've been doing it, but I wanted someone else to tell me, actually, that's okay. You're allowed to do that. And I think that is true for a lot of people. It's like, I know I have to go through this. I haven't had my B12 injection for what, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. And I think I did really, really well, using patches and being mindful about stuff and not working on the weekend. And then, all of a sudden you get that big crash that comes, and you want someone to tell you that it's okay to.
Yeah. And as human beings, we like to be validated, I suppose it's like a level of approval.
Yeah.
I am exactly the same. Okay, I work a lot on myself and help others around slowing down in life and reconnecting. But I will also get permission, as it were, from my husband, and he'll go and actually he does now, which is kind of really good. He'll just go like, just have some time out, and he'll go and take our boy out and play football across the road, which is really nice. And I remember, I think for me, and you mentioned about you're not working at the weekend. Neither am I now. So at the beginning of this lockdown, how many weeks are we in now? Like 9?
I think, well, we're March the 14th in Spain.
Okay, so similar time, I think. But prior to that, I was in that, juggling just family and work, and I typically worked at a weekend. I always had a day where I think, right, I'll do that, I'll do some catch-up time. Since lockdown, I have not worked, and that's been a real conscious effort of actually taking off that pressure and expectation to keep going and try and be as normal as possible. And I saw all those memes at the beginning that said, hey, you could learn a language, you could write a book, Dale, you could write a book.
I have, actually.
I know you have. You could do all these things, and it's like you've got all this time on your hands, and think of all these things that you could accomplish and to be productive. And it really hit me when both you and I work from home anyway, that's what we do. But when my son was at home, it's like, this isn't working from home. This is not working as home as I used to. This is trying to work from home in a global pandemic, and my son is off school, and it's just, I had to let so much stuff go, and I found it hard. But halfway through all of this, it was like, I like it. I like this quietness, and this is something that I don't want. I don't want to go back to that rushing, hot watching, bish bash bosh, meeting after meeting, call after call. That's not what I want in my life. I want quiet time for me.
And I have come to the same conclusion. I mean, mine has been forced because of a lack of energy, and I wasn't prepared for what would happen. Just simply because I wasn't getting a B12 injection. I felt great, and I was continuing to work, and I've done absolutely masses of stuff, and I wasn't prepared for that crash. And then I went, just like you, I'm not going to work on a weekend. Oh my God, it's so lovely.
It is lovely, isn't it?
It's so delightful. I wake up on a Saturday and I think, we'll go on an even longer walk today with the when we were allowed to go for a longer walk, go for a lovely long walk with the dogs. And I'm going to do nothing. If I'm going to come back and watch Netflix, do you know what I think? I'm going to do that. I've watched so many Netflix things. It has been delightful. I've done some work on my house, but I have been really mindful that what I don't want to do is transfer my business working like a mental thing onto fixing my house up. So I've done I've done like really tiny little things. So I've gone around and I thought, oh, there's a bit of damp there. I'll scrape that off. I'll sit down and have a cup of tea now, watch a bit of Netflix. And then it's like, oh, well, I'll just fill that thing over there. I've got an old house. So I've got a lot of work to do. I do not feel guilty that I haven't done it. I just look at it and I think, oh, I'll do it when I feel all right. But also working on the house is quite pleasurable. And I've done some arty projects, but mostly in the last few weeks, all I've done is sat on the sofa. And it's like, I like this, and walk my dogs. I am not going to go back to working on a weekend. I'm absolutely not going to do it. It's like, why would you do that? And the other thing I've done, Mel, is, I mean, I eat my lunch fairly latish, about 2 or 3 o'clock at my time. And then I think, do you know, I'm just going to slow it down. Because I wake up early and I start work early, I don't need to be working to 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. If I choose to put my computer on my lap and watch TV and write a blog, that's my choice. If I can't get what I need to be done in a reasonable amount of time, I'm not going to do it. I'm absolutely not. I'm going to service my clients. I'm going to do the work that needs to be done, but I do not. So this has been such a blessing.
Yeah, I agree.
Really.
There's so much good stuff that's come from this. This has forced me to stop. Yeah. And I think I don't honestly know if I would have been able to manage that on my own, because I have that very strong drive. I'm usually very highly motivated. I have this perfectionist trait, but this has forced me. And it's really interesting in terms of, the work that we do with our clients, that it also means that we get to do some work on ourselves. And I've gone through the same sort of ponderings and questionings, and I've journaled about this for myself in exactly the same way that I encourage my clients to do, which is, what is it that makes you feel so uncomfortable about stopping? And it brings up these feelings of expectations and need to prove a point, the guilt that we get from that. And it's really interesting, again, not necessarily comfortable, but interesting to go into the roots of those feelings and go, what am I trying to prove to anybody?
I have no idea, Mel, but I mean, obviously it stems from childhood and expectations from there, and then going to school and college and university and always having to prove yourself. Well, we don't have to anymore. There has to come a time, wherever it comes in someone's life, that actually we don't need approval for anyone else, and we can make our decisions about slowing it down. And actually, what I found, I'm more effective, more efficient, and more productive by not doing. I've got a clearer mind. It's like, instead of sitting there with this to-do list, everything is so much more pleasurable.
Which comes back to being more dog, doesn't it? In terms of, if you're not trying to do so much, is that 30 dog? If we're not trying to do so much, there's less noise in your head. Exactly. And then it kind of makes life simpler.
Yes.
And I've written a lot about, in terms of, I've had many a day during this time where I've done nothing because I didn't want to do anything. I've had these energy crashes for different reasons for you, and I've written about, it's okay to do nothing in a day, and people have said thank you. I needed to hear that, and I think it's really important to keep reassuring each other that it's okay to just have that time in your day. And actually, if you're thinking about productivity and you're thinking about the things that are really important to you in life, you'll make time for those. Those things will come about with much more ease.
And that is really, really important. We have to, in fact, let's talk about self-love on another session, but we have to love ourselves enough to make those really important decisions. It's like, we talk about going to the fridge, and because right at the very beginning of lockdown, I stuffed my face full of chocolate. I can't bear it now. It was like I needed to replace something. And now when I go to the fridge, it's full of healthy stuff. And I think, let's have an apple, or let's have a banana, rather than, there's another like 6 million bars of chocolate that I've got to hoover up. And I look back at that behavior and I think, that's kind of weird. Like, how did that happen? But right now I'm back in that really intuitive phase of going, do I love myself enough to stop, to be more dog? Do I love myself enough to, damn right I do.
Yeah.
So I think the message this week is pause. I know it's not a paw, it's a hand, but it's like pause and be more dog.
Yeah. Your body, it knows what to do. We've just got to listen to it. You know, it's a better indicator than anything like My Fitness Pal or some digital tracking device or some dietary plan or some work schedule. If we tap into that inner wisdom that I know you talked about a lot as well, God, it opens up those doors to a lot more freedom, a lot more happiness. Yeah, that's the way to go.
So we're going to leave you this week with this really important message: pause and be more dog. So Mel, where do we find you?
You can find me on all the social media. So I'm on Facebook just as Mel Wakeman. I have my Wakeman Nutrition Facebook page. So there's more in there in terms of that will link into my Instagram account. And then my website is wakemannutrition.com. So you can access a free mood and food journal on there at the moment. I've got some nice body positive affirmations and mantras. So yeah, by all means, if you want to hear more about intuitive eating and not dieting and self-compassion, then yeah, come and take a look. Where can we find you, Dale?
Well, you can find me on all the social media channels as Dale Darley. You can find my website, Dale Darley. I've got the Journaling Club, which is a monthly club where you get a journal and I call them monthly missions, monthly and weekly missions, where you focus on some aspect of your healing, but you use writing to kind of help you progress through that. I've got loads and loads of journals on Amazon. I've got lots of courses for journaling and stuff like that. So literally just come and find me, come and talk to me. I would love to inspire more people to write and use that as a healing modality, because wow, it's helped me save my life so many times. So thank you very much for watching. We're going to say bye, and I'm going to go and be more, well, actually I'm going to go and walk the dogs. So I'm definitely not going to be more dog when I'm walking them, because they're running around and I don't have the energy to do that. But seriously, be more dog. Be more dog. Yeah, and just have a great week.
Yeah, thank you. See you later. Bye.